how uh, how it's going. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just struggling to get. Oh, I have a package. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty chill. So you're gonna watch me struggle as I've got a local package on my desk. I've just moved the project over to my desktop, and it doesn't want to find the package that I have, so I now have to go manually update the manifest. Which I have to do every time, and I should tell the manifest not to do that in plastic, essentially. Um, but yeah, so if you're watching today, hello. Um, do let me know where you're watching from, and let me know how things are going. And if you can hear me okay, etc., that kind of thing. Um, there's a long. I've been a while since I've done some streaming, so but yeah, this is gonna be kind of chill. So um, make a package references in the manifest relative. And yeah, I do need to do that, Mike. That's I uh, yeah. That's been something. It's like I rarely do dev work on my desktop, so it's not usually a problem. But in this instance, it is a problem. So I was getting distracted by the stream being. I'm getting a warning from YouTube telling me that the stream bitrate is lower than recommended, and that's a bad thing. Um, but I think it's fine. But let me know if it's an issue. Hi, Mike. Thank you for joining. It's awesome to see you. Okay, what is the recommended bitrate from YouTube? 13th. Okay, let me see if I can update this live and see if it will fuck up. Yeah, it says I've got it capped in OBS to 8,000 kbps, and YouTube is telling me 13,000 is what it should be. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. It says it can't happen with recordings, but maybe with streaming that'll be fine. Maybe it can just update the bitrate on the fly. We'll find out. If not, it sounds like it's fine, so we'll keep going. Sorry for just you staring at my desktop. Let's maximize. Let me see. Okay, right. Let me deal with this freaking package thing so we can. Actually, you know what? Let's open up Blender, and you can look at my cool props that we're going to work on today. Don't open up Blender 4. Damn it. I didn't realize that was the Blender 4 shortcut. To open up new Blender. So you can get unpinned. And we want to open up Blender 4.1. And then carry on from there. Okay, YouTube has told me that my stream quality is good now, so I guess I've upped the quality. So we'll go from there. Okay. And hooray. Okay, so props. One. No, end test is where everything is. There we go. Okay, cool. So here are the props that we're going to work on today. I have been working on for the past few days. 1 second while we go into maybe. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do today is get these into Unity. And then we're going to make some of them explode. That's kind of what I want to do. So I've got some benches that can be broken apart. Some of this stuff I want to break up. But yeah, I just want to kind of put this all in a test kind of props land and break it up into pieces. So that's kind of my goal for this stream. Like I said, it's going to be super chill. So, you know, people have questions though, feel free to ask them. Hello to Marian. Marian, I think that's how I say your name, from Romania. Hi. Wow, Romania. Cool. Awesome. Um, okay, right. Package. I keep getting distracted. So uh, cabs. Also, sorry if you can't hear me super well. I have my AC on because it's fucking warm in here. And I've had to put noise suppression on so you don't just hear the fan constantly. So if it's a little bit funky, that's why. Um, but hopefully it's okay. And go find the manifest. All cabs of chaos, which is in assets. Where is the manifest? Is it in package? It's in packages. And then update the URL and hope that it works. Uh, yep. And just remember not to check in the don't check in the package change. Should have done that. So if I go back to here and try retry, that should work now? Question mark. Hey, there we go. All right. We did it. All right. Yeah, so while that inevitably loads, I haven't updated YouTube on the state of Cabs of Chaos for a while. But the long and short of it is I want to do an update video at some point. I've just been pretty busy. I don't know if you know, but we announced the other game that I'm working on for my full-time job, Generation Exile. I can talk about that now, which is awesome. Did a long interview with Nels, the game director. It was the previous video on the channel. And yeah, that's been keeping me pretty busy, and it's summer, and I want to have a little bit of a social life. So videos have been a little slow, but that's kind of why I wanted to do this. We've got a day off here in Canada. I've been working on this stuff in the side. A lot of my time has been like, do I work on a video or do I just keep working on cabs? And I really like working on cabs. And actually, I've got a couple of things that I'll show you today that is like two ideas I have for a video. So a lot of the videos I do, the reason that I would say people like them is because they come from a place of experience. And the problem with that is I can't just make like a video a month because I have to do a bunch of stuff to like build the lesson, I guess, for a tutorial video, which means I have to spend like a bunch of time making shit. And that means that I don't make videos for like 3 or 4 months because I'm making shit. And so, you know, bear with me is all I'm trying to say. And thank you. If you are a patron, thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Have you seen the Mecha Break game? I was really pleased that something of that level was done in Unity. I haven't, no. Why am I using Unity 2023 and not the LTS 22? Good question. The reason I'm doing that is because some URP features and UI Toolkit. In 2023.2, they did a bunch of changes to the UI Toolkit API and UI Builder stuff to support a bunch of bindings. I speak about this in my UI Toolkit video that I did at the start of the year. And that's it. I was developing this in 2022. But I wanted to move to the 2023.2 version. Oh, I have a compilation. Why? All right, let me hit ignore and see what that is caused by. I definitely haven't opened this on this computer in a while. So we have to do the fun game of like exporting all of this stuff. And it's gonna be somewhat problematic. Let me just update my point of focus here because I'm rotating around a weird focal point. There we go. Much better. So I kind of like the thing I want to do is make it so that like when you hit these, they get crumpled. So we may have to do some artwork today. But I'm pretty pleased with how these are looking. I've done a bunch of work. So yeah, sorry, I got completely distracted. So in the interim between the previous video update, I made a version of Cabs of Chaos that was a block out, which I can show you. We can maybe drive around it. And I also implemented multiplayer. That's an interesting topic. I actually implemented a replay system, and then I realized that the way that I made the replay system, I could just send that data as a package over the internet to another player, and that would so basically the other player's vehicle would be replayed on their end, and so it was just using the same replay data to send the multiplayer package. So I hooked up an entire multiplayer system, um, and yeah, there's basically a full playable version with 2 game modes of Cabs of Chaos now with a blockout level. And so the objective moving forward is take that level from blockout to actual vertical slice, and have a version of the game with those like a couple of game modes. Game modes are actually really easy to make in the way that I've built them. I have a couple of mini game ideas that I want to add too, but yeah, I really need to get this level from like Grey Cube Land to, which I'll show you in a minute, to uh, nice looking, closely real art. You know, I'm not an artist, so I'm working hard, and I like doing this stuff. So, you know, if it looks good enough, I think I'm okay with that. Um, and so, you know, I'm pretty pleased with how this stuff has turned out. Like, I think they look like the things they're supposed to represent, which, as long as that is how they look, then I think I'm happy. I got to give credit to one of my previous collaborators, Wayne Peters. A very, very long time ago, he made an image for me, um, that is a color palette. Ultimately, let me go into the UV editing, and you'll probably be able to see it. Um, this thing, I have, this thing I have like just completely ripped to a car. I have overused this color palette texture sheet thing endlessly, and ultimately, because I can rely on it, you know, like he's built this stuff, and like they all kind of work together, and it keeps me limited, so I'm not having weird clashing colors and stuff. So yeah, big shout out to Wayne for providing me with this like years and years ago, and I've used it on so many different projects and stuff. It's great. So all of these objects, as you can see, are just UV mapped to. I'm not texturing anything. Just purely UV mapped to this. So yeah. It works, you know. Like obviously I put textures on like for the the text and signs and stuff, but I was like, well, if I just use this thing, then it's always going to be kind of right. There's a couple of places like for flowers and stuff, things that I know I'm going to want to change colors of. I think I'm using um just some color materials and things, and if I do want actual texture, you know, when it's just like, okay, I can just UV map like colors for this art style, I can just, you know, create artificial highlights and stuff with the banding, so it's pretty effective. Um, it might not be a good question for the stream, but I'm struggling to get a Unity dev job. I worked for 2 years in studio doing mobile games and released myself 2 indie titles on Steam. Is it industry now, or am I doing something wrong? Can't even get interviews. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I actually speak to Nels about this in the podcast that we did, podcast interview that we did previously. It is tough. You got to think there's like tons and tons of layoffs. But one of the things about the games industry is that there's kind of a path of least resistance. And if it's you versus somebody else that the team knows well, you know, because they've met them at industry events or word of mouth and stuff, they're gonna get that job. So unfortunately, like part of it is just getting yourself in a place where you're able to talk to people, interact, try and build that sense of community, um, and just, you know, I can't give good advice because I started in the games industry 10 years ago. And I worked for myself for most of that. This is like the first full-time job that I've had. Um, and I've managed to be lucky enough that the work that I've done and working at Unity and stuff got a lot of foot in the door for me. And the UK games industry is very, very like close knit. So just going to events, I met people, and then through that, I was able to get work. And so like it really is a who you know situation quite frequently. Um, so unfortunately, uh, there's a lot of that involved. Um, yeah, so that's the best. Like I can't really give a good answer for that, but what are the top places to do that networking? Yeah, go to conferences. Mike says that like you gotta. It's expensive, but it's unfortunately one of the best ways to get your foot in the door. Like, but don't go with a motive. Like people will smell that. Go to meet people, make friends, and be passionate. If you go there looking for work, nobody will hire you. Like I said, this is a very close knit community. People want to rely on reliable people, because making games is really hard, and you know, it's tricky to um get yourself a place from sort of the bottom. But yeah, going to conferences is probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give. Okay, I am still getting an error on trying to open this. I wonder if I just close Unity and try to open it again, whether it will still have a problem. It seemed to not. Oh, you know what? Oh, I know what the problem is. Oh, okay, back in a sec. Oh, this is a stupid problem. Okay, so what I did was I've made some updates to my mesh tooling, but that mesh tooling is in another um, repo, and so I did not check that repo in. Um, so I'm going to do that now, and then we'll finally be able to do some work. I've been hanging out for a while, so uh, sorry, this is off to such a rough start. Can you tell I haven't done this in a long time? Um, yeah, I mean, if anybody in the chat has advice to give to people, by all means, feel free. Like, I am one person's experience of getting work in the games industry. I think I'm just very lucky. Um, and I have a YouTube channel that works on intermediate stuff, and that sort of helps my reputation a little bit. But the biggest thing I will say is that we talk to like a lot of people talk to each other, and don't give yourself a bad rep. Like you can become a stain on yourself if you go in with the wrong motives. That's like the best piece of advice I can give is like be a decent person, make friends for the sake of making friends, not to try and like not to have an ulterior motive, because that stuff stands out in an industry of people that genuinely really like each other. Um, Most of the time, uh, people can smell that from a mile away, and it's off-putting. Um, so that's the only advice I really give. Uh, I have forgotten how to switch repositories in. How do I do that? Workspace? Maybe. Ah, there we are. I figured it out. Okay, I've got 5 local changes. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Stage those. Commit them. And then check those in. With those. My laptop can go over that. Actually, no, I'll put it away. All right, nearly there. It doesn't show me being live. That's a shame. I don't know why. Um, does it show me being live to other people? Is that true? Uh, Thank you for the kind words, everyone. It means a lot. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been super active. That's why I kind of want to do this. I do have a video coming out next week. It's a Unity video. They have I've partnered with them for a thing. I can't talk about it yet, but yeah, it's a fun one. It's a little different, so I'm excited to see how that goes down. Um, but they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. So yeah, that'll be out next week. If this goes well, and people enjoy this, let me know. Because like it's obviously much easier because I want to work on Cabs of Chaos. It's obviously much easier to just sit here and do some work for a few hours pretty regularly when I have some time. Than putting a bunch of work into full videos. So I can do these reasonably regularly if this is the sort of thing that people enjoy. Okay, now I have to open up Fork again on here and pull the update. I think I can go back to my screen. Oh, Fork needs an update. Man. Oh, never mind. Let's keep answering questions. Okay, it is live. Good. Thank you. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, we should be live for a bit, so I'm not too worried. This is all I'm going to kind of be doing today. And I've been working on these for a while. Currently, I have these two ready to kind of smush into pieces. I have the bench, and then I've got like these are all individual pieces, and these are. So I'm quite excited to get those working. One of the things I really want to do is have like water spew out when you like. I want to do some like visual effects and stuff. I've been doing a lot of work on look dev basically for the game for a while now, and I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I want to start putting this style together to get it to see if I can find some coherence. Because I think as I do more work, I'll figure out what other assets I need and whatever. I kind of been thinking about just like releasing all these assets on the asset store too, if people would find them useful. Maybe I'll put a package up. Actually, maybe for Patreons, I'll just upload all these assets as a package, and you guys can kind of do what you want with them. That could be fun. That wouldn't be too much. And yeah, if we get them all like cut up into pieces, that could be a fun thing. Okay, Fork is updated. Oh my gosh, right. That's my other work. Boop, 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 boop. Nice graph. Pull. Pull. Okay. Unity should now not be angry at me. Let's go. How long has this been? Like half an hour, and I haven't even started work yet. That sounds about right. That's a classic Monday for you. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. Right. Yeah, so I don't know about the signs. I kind of want the signs to come off, but there's a lot of work in like breaking these up into smashable pieces. So I think with like the ATMs, I'm gonna just make a version of them. Not the ATMs, vending machines. I'm gonna make a version of them that is like crumpled and stuff, and it's just like when you hit it, it's just gonna turn into that model. And we can have them like sparks fly off or something. Some of the other objects, like I don't know. I wonder if there's a plugin for Blender that can just like smush objects for you. There probably is. I tend to just lie on the sculpt tool, rely on the sculpt tool to do a bunch of work. Honestly, the trees have been one of the biggest challenges, like foliage, for this art style. Because if I haven't explained it yet, the style of the game is sort of Saturday morning cartoon. So I'm going for a very toony vibe. Mostly because I don't know how to do art. And I think this is like this is an art style that should last longer than if I try to make good looking art. But also just, you know, there's some like length of my ability versus tactical kind of visual. Like it would be a good art style because I think it'll appeal because of the theming of the game. And then like it's just a sort of Venn diagram of different constraints that I have for this project that just kind of sits where it's like, yeah, this probably works. Um so but I want to get it right, you know. I don't want it to look like crap. So honestly, one of the coolest things though that I figured out with Blender is getting these outlines. Like it's really neat. So you can just add a solidify modifier. Let me turn it off and you'll see. So this is what it looks like. And that's all mapped to this master material. And then if I add a secondary material and add the solidify modifier, I can then set the normals to be flipped and set the material offset on both ends to a high number. Like if you have 4 materials, set it to 5, whatever. Like so you know that it's the last one, and that just makes these outlines. It's like a really fast way to make outlines, and sort of toony outlines. It's really cool, and it has saved me a ton of time. There's some things that I'm doing procedurally in Unity that I don't have that flexibility for. So I either need to figure out how that solidify algorithm works and apply it myself, or hooray, we're not getting a bunch of errors anymore. Good. Okay. You know what we should do? Let's see if the game plays. I don't know if I can play the game. Let's try it. And see what happens. I haven't. Oh no, I pressed the frick. I'm already on the startup scene. Okay, I broke a thing already. That's gonna like double load the game now. Let's not do that. Let's hit play. Okay, so no, I don't think anybody has seen this in a while. So let's see how we're going. Oh, lovely, good old compiling. Because I kind of want to show off the demo scene. I don't know if I may have broken some stuff in the work that I've been doing recently. Um, let's just go classic mode. Yeah, that's been broken for a while. I'm not too worried about that. I do need to fix that. That's a problem with my outline shader. I'm not putting the alpha in. I can fix that pretty easily. Who should we? Let's play as Rich. Okay. We go in the downtown map. Oh, do I have it muted? I do have it muted. Let's take the muting off. I don't have any sound though. Okay. Why is the sound not? Set to. Yeah, there's definitely sound. Okay. I don't know why the sound's not working. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah, so this is the test level. It is fine. And so it's just going to be a case of like updating a lot of this stuff to all of my new tools that I've been building. But I did a lot of work on trying to make a level that made sense and worked in different multiplayer kind of instances and stuff. Oh no, okay, it has failed in one of the messages. Maybe Fmod's not working. That would make sense. That would make sense as to why there's no sound and why it caused an error. Okay. Well, it's not important. You saw that you got to see some of the gameplay. All right, let's go to that scene though. Scenes downtown. Is that now just level 1 test? Is that what it's called now? Or is that the old one? This is the old one, isn't it? Oh, it is. It's the old one. Yeah, okay, so that's the old one. So, oh, I'm in test. That's why. Okay. So most of the outlines right now are using a depth-based. There's some normal noise too. Um, all of the. Oh yeah, this whole shader is broken. Because I've messed with the noise settings. I'm not too worried about that. I'll fix those later. But yeah, right now we're just using pure depth-based outline post-process stuff. And so blending that with the new assets should make for an interesting outcome. uh, 'Cause I did it first with this. Like, this is a mesh-based outline from the prop mixed with post-process stuff. So yeah, so a lot of this is what I now have to replace. This is the first level. I've done some tests. I've done some multiplayer tests with it. Pretty happy with it. We'll get some more. I'll do some more testing, and I'll probably make some additional changes here and there as I'm adding things. But a lot of it was just like trying to figure out a layout that made sense, that was fun to drive around in. There were like choke points and stuff, because I realized that was a key part of like the multiplayer aspect. Yeah. So basically, a lot of my work is just going to be like making all this, because this is all like old spline tool stuff that I was doing, and I've been doing a lot of work on just like, you know, how do I want this to actually look? So my current scene is my look dev test, which we're not going to spend too much time in today. But this is an update to a ton of my tools. So this is roughly sampling what I was doing in Blender. I did a little bit of work in Blender to get, you know, a rough idea of what I wanted to do. From a sort of angle, like how did I want the game to look at any given point in time? And what was the sort of rough aesthetics that I was going for there? Let's go into its collection. And so I settled on, you know, something along these lines for all of the objects. I think it's roughly what I'm happy with. You know, I think there's a point of like I could spend ages futzing around with it, but I think one of the biggest traps you can get into is like making everything look perfect. So it doesn't have to look perfect; it just has to look good enough, right? I'd rather the game play be the important part of it, and so you know, that's kind of where I'm at with things. So this is my little like look dev test scene to see how it looks. I can just get the assets in and sort of play around with them a little bit. And this is my new road tooling stuff, which I'm super stoked about. I haven't really shown this off, but the previous version, which if you watch the splines video, I built intersections as like a separate system. Whereas now, if we just add a new object into that, you see how it just made an intersection? That's going to save me so much time, and I'm so happy I put the work into that. I figured out there's a way to like to read where different splines intersect, and essentially to just not draw the mesh at that point, and because that's now an intersection, and then use the intersection logic from the intersection video to do that all in itself. So it's just like automatically handled, placing and building and generating intersections for us. So good. It makes my life so much easier. There's some other things I would love to be able to do, like make little bays and things, because I kind of want like public transit lanes and stuff. I don't know. But you know, this is an improvement over that for now. So let me just undo that. It doesn't matter. This is all just test stuff anyway. Screw it. And then in a similar fashion, I wanted to be able to build like these buildings. You saw those were sort of cube, just gray cube land. And I wanted a place where I wanted to put my attention into like the hero buildings, so the destinations that you're going to be going to. And so I needed to have a tool that would just let me kind of make buildings. I think this one is locked right now. Yeah, it's set to lock. So let's unlock it. Yeah, there we go. And then Why is that not working? Oh, it is not turned on. That's why. Um, nope, something else is going on there. Okay. All right, I'm not sure quite what's going on there, but that should be updating as I move my spline around, but for some reason it isn't. But if I update the settings on here, anyway, you get the gist of it. It can build buildings for me and update them. I don't know why it's slow. I'll have to look into that. The outlines on the car, yeah, are just post-processy stuff right now. Is Unity just gonna hang now? Cool. Cool. Love that. Alright, that's locked into something. That's not coming back. I don't know why it did not hook into the spline changing. That makes me curious. Honestly, that might just be a this works on my laptop but not on my desktop situation. Probably also not while I'm streaming. That would also make sense. Never mind. Doesn't affect what we need to do today. So anyway, that's a quick look at... There's a building tool that lets you build things. And it will hopefully speed up the process of turning those random gray cubes that you saw into background buildings with very little effort from my end, apart from just like assigning materials and stuff. That's probably what I want to make a video about, because I'm quite pleased with it. I think it's a really useful tool. It has a very specific use case, but I feel like that could be a cool breakdown. There's quite a lot to doing it, because I've supported like different layers. I've supported wall to wall, so there's only like windows on the front and back, not the sides. Separation between like where the top and bottom and each floor is its own mesh, so you can have different like materials and stuff. So, and a ton of like mesh tooling that would build on a lot of the stuff that we did in previous videos. So I do want to do that. At some point I want to go back and revisit my traffic video. That's probably when I do more of a pass on the traffic in this game. Because I have them like at intersection stuff. I did a Patreon post about that. So okay, we are back to this. Let me just see if this is like fully broken or not. Because it seems like it might be. And that would suck. All right, let me cheat and bring the stories down to like 3 and see if that fixes it. Okay, okay, well that worked. Why is it hanging? That's so strange. Okay. Well, I'm not super worried about that, but that's fine. Okay. This really shouldn't struggle. You just decided not to assign the meshes? I wonder why. Huh. I have to, like, update it. Okay. There's a bug there somewhere. I'm probably trying to do something too soon, I think. Anyway, you can see how it works. It makes buildings. It's a building making tool. I quite like it. And then, yeah, I have an updated version of what I call my spline surface builder. So I will duplicate this. Maybe this will actually work. You can like delete this spline, new one, and see if this works. So as I place myself around, let me reverse these. There we go. Yeah, it just like makes a surface for me. And it sort of does basically what it does is it builds a grid. If I go into wireframe, it builds a grid basically on whatever's in the inside, and then it connects all the edges, and sort of, which you saw when I reverse it, you kind of see for some reason it builds it flipped them, they're over here, right? So that's the grid that it makes, and then it can build the edges based off of that. It's a little janky, but that's fine. I am not planning on releasing this, but it's a useful tool if I just want to make like random polygonal sort of surfaces that I need for things like lawns and, you know, parking lots, etc. And it'll all sort of smooth to whatever height the things are. Very, very useful. It's a cool little tool that I've made. Those are the two, like the main sort of things that I'm using to get all this stuff visually up to scratch, to the point that I want. And yeah, I've got a sort of compiled noise material thing that I've got in my material shader. All of the toon shading stuff is a custom shader that I've built using the SRP stuff, which I talked about in my SRP video. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. Ha, silly me. Okay, I wasn't showing you any of that. Good job. Thank you, Mike. That's my bad. Okay, I'll show you those again. All right. Let's duplicate this guy. Oops. So yeah, we have this, like, it's essentially a spline surface. So you just define a spline area, and it just calculates how to put a mesh on it, using a grid. Like I said, if I reverse the flow of this, you can see. So like that's the grid that it makes. And then it then connects the outer edges of the spline to the grid that it makes. So it just uses the surface area to figure out the bounding center, what's inside the thing, builds a grid, and then anything that the edges that are out of there, it then doesn't do, which then allows you to connect the edges up to the grid. So that's a small, short version of that. It's actually annoyingly complicated to do. The grid bit's the easiest bit, but the like looping around, because what you have to do is you have to like figure out all the edges, build a polygon out of the edges, and then do some edge clipping. And you got to figure out like which out of the three possible connected edges, which angle creates a triangle with the smallest, but not an inverse angle, so you don't end up clipping over yourself to make like nice clip, close, clip connections. It was a bit of a mind meld for me, but I got there in the end. That took a while, but it does mean that I can make like interesting shapes, and it kind of handles it like 90% of the time, which is what I needed to, you know, like it's not easy to make a shape that can be concave and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. Like I said, 2/3 of the time it works, but procedural geometry is interesting. So yeah, that's that. All right, let's actually do the thing that I want to do today. Enough a catch up. That's what I've been doing. I will do a video at some point covering all of this stuff in detail. But you get a glimpse of how things are looking. I'm still kind of annoyed why this isn't working. Oh, now it is. Weird. Okay. Now it works. Okay, so does it work now if I move the spline? No. Okay, that's strange. But it does when I update it. All right. Weird. I must have broken something somewhere. Yeah, the windows have like a slight offset depending on how you look at them, which I'm pretty pleased with. So yeah, overall, we're getting the vibe. I need to mess with the outlines a little bit. I'm not super happy with them, but like I said, it'll do for now. I should probably dial down the aberration too. Mike, which tool are you referring to? I mean, yeah, I can upload some of this stuff to Patreon. I don't know if I'll save it for a tutorial video that I do, but yeah, I mean, I could upload some of this stuff to Patreon today, later today, if people want to play around with it. But I do kind of need to make better use of this stuff. Okay, so what we want to do is build all of our props, right? So one of the things that we can already do is smush ourselves into that bench. Actually, no, not that one. Well, we can smush ourselves into the stop sign. Did I turn off my character controller? No, I just have the main camera is just overtaking it. Okay. So, like, I basically want to add... Oh, the stop sign doesn't have its behaviors active. Fair enough. There we go. That does, though. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, when I hit this, I want, like, water splashing out. But I basically want this kind of effect to happen on all of these other little things. I want to have some physics interactions on props and that kind of stuff. So that is what we're going to do today. Okay. Oh, I see. So I wonder if I set that to 4 and then I lock it. That now work. Yeah, okay, good. And it's there now. Okay, cool. Then my lock is working. I was wondering why my lock wasn't working. Yeah, so... Okay. Let's make a props scene. The ground geo thing. Yeah, I can put the mesh, the spline surface tool thing up on Patreon. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make a package for that. As a thank you to everybody. It'll be super janky, so just be aware of that. But it'll do most of what you need it to do. Right, so let's make a new scene. Scenes. Tests. Actually, you know what? Let's just duplicate the look dev test because it already has most of what we need. Look dev. I think I probably already have props somewhere. Prop gallery, maybe. Oh, I put underscore. I can just be props gallery. Okay, props gallery. Save changes to look dev. Take most of this stuff out for now. Light. We need the light. Let's pop ourselves at the center of the world. For some reason, I accidentally made myself flat. That's cool. And then make a plane that is massive. Yeah, that'll do. And then give it the floor texture. Oh no! Right, because it's a plane. Okay. Window. Wait, tools. Where is it? Pro Builder. Pro Builder window. Plane. Size 100 by 100, and then do 100 by 100. Boop. Wait. How do you... Yeah? There we go. There we go. Oh. Yeah, that sets to 1,000. Okay. Okay. And then now put that on there. There we go. That's better. Ooh, which one do I want? Let's go that one. Cool. We now just have A land of shadows, so a land of repeating tiles. And okay. Prefabs. Let's grab the ones we already have. Bench. That's the first bench. Where's our light facing? Oh, I don't have gizmos turned on. That's silly. Ah, we're facing away, that's why. Okay. Basically, I just want to have like an entire scene where all the props exist all the time. So I can check them, see how they look, etc. This is reasonably common. But it's just making sure they all work, they all sound right when you hit them, that kind of thing. Without needing to rely on them being in a scene for that kind of stuff to work. And depending on the character that you play as, you get the right reaction from it or whatever, if we want to do that. So that's that, and oops. Outpost. I actually have a second one of those that I need to bring out. Stop sign. Traffic code. That's like the stuff I've made right now. And everything else you saw, you'll deal with. Oh. I need to mark that as drivable. There we go. Yeah, right. So that's what the bench can do. That bench. This crate can smash into pieces as well. We just basically want to give all the other assets that I showed you earlier the same treatment. When you some water spewing, maybe some sparks when you hit that kind of stuff. I don't have sound working right now because for some reason Fmod is balked, but I'm really pleased with the sound that the cone makes when you hit it. It's actually really satisfying. So yeah, we'll get some of the juicy good stuff going today. So let's start with the two that we already have. I have got two benches that I've got aside from this one that I want to smush into pieces. So let's make some progress on that. And smush those up. So is there a way to export all of these as individual objects without having to do it individually? Right? Can I export? Because I don't want to export like the whole collection. I want each of these to come in as their own object. I've never tried to do that. Is there a way to do that in Blender? It's a batch mode. Okay. Problem is they have sub objects, so what I want is the collection. Export only objects from the active collection and its children. Batch mode. Each collection as a file. No. Active scene collection. Each collection of the active scene as a file. That's not what I want. I would have to make each of those objects its own collection. Each collection... I don't think there's a way to do this. Each collection of the active scene as a file. Let me have a quick look, see if there's a way to do this. Ah, somebody has made a batch export, so that might work. Hmm. The scripting workplace. Let's see. Templates. Python. Batch export. Select all the objects you want to export. All of those. I want to export all of those. Uh, okay. Hopefully this also exports the sub-object. Let's have a look. Run the script with the play button. Does this ask me where I want to put them? See, I feel like this is going to bring them in as not the right stuff for Unity, though. Where are they going to... Oh, the blend file's in the directory you want the object to be in, so it's just going to put them in that directory. But they're probably not going to... Well, let's have a look. That might have worked. I mean, they're there. But all of the sub pieces are its own thing too. Yeah, that's not what I want either. Ah, that's annoying. Okay. Um, shoot. All right. All right, we're just gonna have to do them one by one, I guess. Because the thing is, I would just export the whole collection, but I don't want to have to do like. There's a benefit, right, to it being on a per collection basis, like per object basis, because it means that if I just want to update one object, I can just export that object. And then if the export gets fucked up, it's just only for that object. Objects by parents. Where is that, Mike? Where are you seeing that? Is that in the export list? Hmm. This is where I should probably learn Python to... It's cool you can do that, though. I didn't know there was an export batch thing inside of a Python. I didn't even know this scripting template thing existed. That's neat. I'm just curious what half of these things do. That's cool. YouTube keeps tricking. Mike, maybe just if you can just send it to me on uh Twitter or something like that. That would be cool. And or if you're in the Discord, just link it in the Discord. Or send it to me on Discord. On GitHub. Okay, yeah, I'll grab it. That's cool. I'll find this on GitHub. Blender Super Batch Export. This feels like it's worth putting some time into getting working because I'm gonna have to use this constantly. That's cool. I think this is this the one? This looks like this is probably the one. I export multiple objects and files to separate files in one click. Okay, there we go. Batch export. It's just a add-on. Object by parents. Yeah, that's great. Cool. That seems exactly what we need. Hello. Shout out to Mr. Trippy for saving our souls. Release. Requires Blender 3.3. We're going to force something or other? Okay. Let's click that. Do I, just the zip is what we need, right? Yeah. Okay. So then in Blender, let's try and add it. So file, edit, references, right? Yeah. Downloads. Import, export, super batch export. That sounds fun. Right. So now we select all these objects and then go file, export. Wait. Nope. Let me check what it said. Was it in the export window? 3D viewport sidebar export tab. There is an export tab. Is there? Oh. I thought I'd enabled it. Yeah, it's enabled. Add on location. Side panel. There we go. Ha. 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 Okay. So this is just all the format stuff that we need. Okay, cool, cool. Right. FBX. If we can get this to work. Object by parents. Limit to visible. No, just selected. I want some invisible stuff to work. Preset. I don't have a preset yet. Set location. Set rotation. I will set scale eventually. These will come in too small because I played with this before. Directory. Okay. And then let's make a directory inside of Unity. No, shout out, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate the the assist on this one. Assets, tabs, models, props. Batch. Okay. Let's try and put them in that folder and see what happens. Mesh curve surface. Okay, I don't care. Just meshes. That's all I care about, right? How much is empty? Yeah. Oh, hold shift. Okay, empties I do care about. Text, I don't really care about. Grease armatures, nope, none of those. Object reference limit selected. Prefix, I don't. Text at the beginning of all, no, don't need that. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, that seems like it. Yep, that might have done what we needed to do. Oh, invalid normals. Ah, I wonder if it's... No, that worked. Okay. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Oh. Okay, so the exporter did weird things with the normals, but it seems like it worked. Can I just select all of them and just make sure all their normals are fine? Let's just do mesh normals, recalculate outside and see what happens. Oh no, that didn't work. That broke half of them. Yeah, because the sign is... Yeah. I see why. Okay. Maybe I have to apply the modif... Oh no, it says apply modifiers. Hmm. Why did we get that error? I mean, they came in okay. Maybe it's fine just to ignore those errors. Like, that looks correct. So, I don't know. Hmm. Okay, I've got to fix the outline. Oh. Hmm. Threshold? Oh, it's a threshold. That'll be fine. I'll deal with the filtering for that. I just... How far can we go before it gets weird? We need to filter the... like, that angle, but... Okay, 0.5. 5 seems fine. Okay, we'll worry about it later. That at least stops it going crazy at certain angles. Like, that's a current bug I have with this outline, this post-process outline, is just the... when it's perfectly perpendicular, it doesn't like that. So I need to fix that at some point. Okay, so this worked, but it is an error. Like, why? It's just a few of them, it seems. Is it just... All right. Okay, it's just a few of them. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So the A boards were problematic. Okay. Well, there's another good test of the exporter to see if that works. So these A boards seem to have fucked up normals. So do that, select them. Is it Alt N? I think it's Alt N. Recalculate outside. Save that. And then batch export those. I like that that's a button that there I can just click. That's great. That's really good. I'm a fan of that. No, that's invalid normals. Try cleaning and... Why are they invalid? What does that mean? It's just because I've got some weird friggin' shapes. It's probably because I've got some weird shapes in the mesh geometry. Alright, let's just go try it. You just cheat. I've triangulated the faces. See if that fixes it. Maybe I just had really dodgy jump. I've done some dodgy things in here, so it might have just been that might have fully been my fault. Okay. Nope, still doesn't like that. Even with the improved, but I made the geometry clean, kind of. I mean, it seems like it's fine though. Maybe if I just apply. And then origin to geometry, origin to geometry. Maybe that will fix the error. I don't think this matters that much. It like, yeah, it still doesn't like it. I mean, it works. That is the mesh I wanted. I just don't like that it has an importer error. That's really strange. Like, I don't get why some of them don't, but these do. It's such a weird bug. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna turn off that. I need to fix the outline shader. I will turn it off for now. It's not super important. Okay. Boop. I need to set the flipping plane to be like 0.1. There we go. And honestly, this doesn't need a freaking huge ass flipping plane. That might also have been why the actually, let me turn the outline back on. This stuff is heavily defined by the clipping planes. So maybe it's less fucked now. Yep, that was the problem. Cool. I was gonna say it doesn't, yeah. Okay, I keep forgetting that that also has a big impact on how the process looks. Okay. So I actually don't care about the A-board for now. I just was curious about those. Good. All right. Well, shout out to Mike for coming in with that assist there. That's great. All right. So, oh, it just struggles to preview it. I don't like that. That's so annoying. I wonder if I set them to not import the normals. But then my outlines might be weird. I wonder. I set that to calculate. Does that fix it? It does. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, let's just set it all to calculate and see what happens. He says, closing his eyes. And then if we grab the materials, we should have our master material. Not that master, matte master. And then outline. And apply. Hey! So our A board should work. Lovely. Honestly, that's sized reasonably well. I might scale it up a tiny bit. I don't know. How big is that relative to... How much of the scale of this game is so fucked? Whatever. Some of it, like, because some of it's, like, not realistically scaled because people are certain sizes, but then they need to fit in the vehicles, and it's all realistically scaled. It doesn't look good. There's, like, a cut, like, because of the aesthetics and stuff. Scaling in games is strange. I don't know if you ever noticed when you play a first-person shooter, but, like, doors are huge. Or you're very small. Like, maybe it's also because I'm tall and I'm so used to certain things being certain heights, but Scaling is weird. That's all I'll say. Okay. Oh, you can't let me batch load the materials? Damn you. Alright. Well, let's do this. Let's not do this one at a time. There's probably an import process I can write to do this at some point. I think you can do a post-process import pass on like those materials and syncing them up properly. I don't know why that's so. Yeah, they're. So we don't get the benefit. That's the only thing that's missing from the exporter is the rotation application that we have. But maybe that would exist in the presets in the default thing. Yeah, one at a time. I'm not super worried about these materials though. So, okay, let's do the one that we can smash because that's fun. Smashing things is fun. So let's focus on that for now. So, oh yeah, the umbrellas. Oh, they came in well. Trash bags. Those would be pretty easy to do. Sign should be good. Did I break the pallets up? I don't think I broke the pallets up, but those will be fun. So bench 01 and bench 02 are smashable. So let's. They're too small. And they're set to scale. Yeah, this is what I didn't want, right? Like, they're set to scale 100. Okay. So I wonder if I go edit preference, wait, file export BX. I go selected object, the mesh and empties. And then apply transform. Z is up. Wait, no, Y is up. Minus Z is full. Wait, no. Yeah, whatever. Geometry. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then save this as a preset. I think the apply transform thing would be useful. Can I now get that? I can. That might work. Okay, so let's just test it on the benches. Does that fix the benches? Oh. Yes. There is an import option to change scale inside of Unity, but to have to do that to every single asset is really inconvenient. So if I can get it to just be the right size and rotation from the get-go, that's kind of ideal here. So, okay, so now I just need to get it so that like, the rotation is 0. Like how it looks in Blender is how it looks in Unity. I mean, it's possible that I actually haven't stored the rotation on this. And that would maybe also be why. Yeah, that is not applied. Ah, okay. That one is. That one isn't. Does that mean all of those don't have that brick? Okay. Yeah. Okay, they're now like correctly rotated. These seem to be, but I'm just gonna do that anyway. Okay. So now with that setting, are we correctly rotated in Unity? Oh, yes. Wait, no. What? Okay, okay. This is my favorite part about doing things from Blender is just like this stupid. Okay, so if I do just set this to Z up, sure. Oh, let's do test, and then it was Z up. Okay, so if we do Y up, Z forward. What do we call this? Test. Call this test 2. And then do that. We saw the benches selected. Export those. Ah, there we go. Yeah, we did it. We figured it out. Okay. So now we just need to set the... There should be a unit setting in the FBX exporter, or you can set the import scale on the mesh tab of the importer. Yeah. Okay, so test 2 is the one we want to use. But then we just want to... I want to set the scale to like 1.5 of everything. I think. Because like whatever, like I've modeled everything in here to be roughly the scale that I want those things to be. I do think those oil drums are probably too big compared to the benches. I don't know. Yeah, no, they're probably too big. But yeah, honestly, I might just scale all these guys up a little bit. So much of it is just like eye work. It's like, yeah, that kind of looks right. Okay, let's export those benches now. And then the Unity's, there we go. It's 1.5, right? Let's have a look. Get a pedestrian for scale. I mean, okay, maybe like 1.4. I did just scale those up, so scale those down a tiny bit. Now let's try. That's better. It's a big ass fucking bench. Okay. So 1.35. I think like that's then just like a good amount that things can be the size that they are. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy with that now. There we go. Okay, that's correct. Like, you know, these are friggin' not going to be sat on things, but it's not going to look, you know, as long as it doesn't look wrong, I'm not too worried about it. Like, nobody's going to be sitting on benches and stuff. It's just, yeah, I guess the cars, it's just, there's so many freaking things with scale and art. I hate it. I hate it so much. Why 3D was a mistake. All right. That's cool. Okay, you can go, Mr. Mayor. I will actually keep you around just in case I need you for more scale tests later. You can be hidden now. This bench is facing the right direction. Oh, it actually came in at 1.35. Oh, that's interesting. Ah. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I want to do that in the modifying stuff. Okay, so export BX. 1.35 there. And then set that to, okay, so that, and then 1.35. And then add this to, I'm just going to go Unity, because now we know that this is correct. Set this to Unity, then export them. Now that should be 1. Yes, okay, good. We did it. We did it, gang. All right. Actually, this bench is like smaller than that one. Which, to be honest, compared to our pedestrian, that bench is fucking huge. Like, that bench is really high. Okay. This one is problematic. This is actually a better bench. A little bit wide. Maybe I can bring the scale in a little bit. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. Oops. Good. I'm glad I can do that. That's going to be so nice to just quickly update single objects like that with that exporter one. Lifesaver, Mike. Thank you so much for that recommendation. Okay. So now we can go to the bench object and grab the pieces we need. So what I actually did is I wanted to have different colored benches. I didn't want to make a whole bunch of duplicates, especially because there's all the pieces. So in this one instance, I'm actually going to be using materials. So I do need to make some materials. So we will just go into the bench and turn off all the sub objects. Our bench guy is looking great. This is gonna be fun. Give me 1 second. I am just gonna grab some water. Okay. Do I have an object for this bench already? I might have a material for it. No, it's just the master material. Okay. In that case, let's just duplicate this and make a material bench main one. Remove this guy. Whoops. Don't let me. There we go. And then go for. The fun thing is, I made the exact same thing in my color in my color palette, so I can just get them that way. Another useful thing to do: use your color palettes and save them. I now have this color palette just saved on the machine, and it's very useful because I can still now apply the same swatches, but just like in a custom way. Very useful. So we'll do that one, and then bench base 01. Let's call it. Make this a sort of. Unity has been doing this lately. I don't know why. Doesn't draw the drawer properly. Let's go for a nice gray color there. Yeah. Okay. Save that, and then we want to put it on the actual bench because then it'll apply to all the little pieces as well. So bench base, bench main, hit apply, and we have our bench. Look at that little guy. Ah, ain't he cute? Okay, same thing here. Bench base, bench main, and outline. Hell yeah. Look at those guys. Look at them. Oh, aren't they awesome? Look at that. You know what we should also do? I think what we should also add support for. I kind of want to see what happens. Like, we're going to have to do the bus stop and the stop sign today as well. I want to get those working. These would be fun, but there's a lot of work involved in those, and there's a lot of moving pieces. I think I want to do the, like, signs and stuff too. That would be fun if I get some time to do that today. There's a few things that I'm like, I don't know if I want them to be fully smashable. You know, like I think the trees obviously will be the things that you can't like smash over unless they're a certain size, maybe. Um, but there's probably got to be some stuff that like does actually stop. Like obviously the skip should I don't know. Or maybe just freaking everything can smash into pieces. The namesake of the game is Cabs of Chaos, so feels like I'm doing a disservice. Oh, that rotation is wrong. Strange. Maybe I hadn't applied it properly. Okay. So then all the sub pieces can just go to sleep for now. Okay. Look at that. Ah, oh, it's so nice. I'm kind of pleased with those. All right. Now I have to remember how I make them all smash into pieces. Yeah, they look a lot better, don't they? This was like just my test bench shit that I made. Pretty crappily. This is a much nicer looking object. Uh, we'll still need a few more, I think. Like, I'll probably need like 2 or 3 different variants of benches. I kind of want like one of those metal looking ones, you know, that has like the curves for like a park. I think those will be nice, and maybe those don't fall into smash into pieces. It makes sense to like metal things. Aren't super smashable. Okay. All right. Let's look at the bench to remember how. Now, I think I just have to make it a destructible object. I do. And then we have the default object. Oh, it's a piece of itself, isn't it? Hmm. Okay. So, uh, be parent. Oh, good. There we go. Bench is okay. So that is forward. Okay, good. PF underscore bench underscore 01. Right. Then we unpack this. Then we create a empty. The bench exploded. Put all those pieces in it. Turn all these guys on. Then these should now be able to like smash into little bits. Have you created the assets with that style, or have you personalized the render pipeline? Yeah, no, so they're mostly created with that style, but yes, there is also some render pipeline customizations. So, like, yes and no. You can go check back earlier in the stream. I kind of spoke about this a little bit. There's some custom pipeline stuff that I'm doing. So I've created a custom shader in the pipeline to get some extra kind of visuals, but the majority of it is just purely asset design. Okay. So we want to get. She needs a mesh collider, right? Yeah. Mesh collider. I think these guys just need mesh colliders too. Honestly, I might just make cube. I just box collider them. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Although I haven't really ever had that many issues. I know like box colliders are cheaper but eh. Like, I don't know. I've never really had huge problems with mesh colliders. I can always update the colliders later. Convex. And I'm going to have to make a tool to do this because this is going to be a pain in the ass to do all the time. Rigid body is there. Okay, and then we need a magnitude and just... Okay, so the destructible object thing will... It gives itself a ID. If you're wondering what the ID part is, that's for my replay system, so that all of the smashables can be replayed. These things apply themselves to my replay container, and they register their state every... I will do a video on my replay system because I think it's going to be useful. And again, it also will allow you to transmit some of that data over the network for networking really easily with NGO. So, right, so we now need to add a rigid body. That can go in there. What did I set the bench's mass to? Oh, it's just fucking nothing. Okay, cool. We'll worry about the audio later. Probably choose the sim 1. 10. Later. Bench. Default object. Bench. Fracture object. Bench exploded. Time to despawn 0.5. Right. So theoretically, that should now explode when we hit it. I think I just set this to props. Destructibles even. Wait, does the normal bench have it? Yeah, okay. Bench. Bench. Let's turn this guy off. So turn this guy off. Moment of truth. Oh. I forgot to make sure that the ground plane is on the ground layer. All right, let's try again. Oh. Well, that kind of worked. Oh, I see. Is it because that's on, but then all those pieces are... Yeah, okay. Huh. What did I mess up there? Bench. Rigid body. Bench wall. Oh, they all have rigid bodies on them. Okay, I missed that bit. I thought they had... Yeah, that's dumb of me. And they have like a very low mass. Okay. Objects in physics shouldn't use mesh colliders typically. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to sit there and fucking deal with box colliders. Oh, look, it fell. Well, yeah, all right. Cool. Despawn. What is the despawn time on the other thing? 5 seconds. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, we're getting there. If this turns back on, what's off? Oh, that is off. It's just not showing that it's off. Because it's a prefab, maybe? Okay. Let's try that. There we go. We did it. Oh, that was satisfying as hell. Okay, good. Man, we kind of need some, like, sparks and stuff. Like, There's some visual effects there that would really help sell it to when we hit stuff. I do want to do that with the water. That would be something fun to do today too. Oh, it's so satisfying. Look at the metal piece just go. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right. I need a button to reset them, actually. I'm just learning it again because I enjoy it so much. Okay. That's so great. I need to add support into the shader for them to like dither away rather than just like pop out of existence. Um, but you know, it's fine for now. Okay, so we just do the same thing for this guy. Um, all right. Well, I'm gonna save that to my props. That is a nice looking bench. I'm really pleased with that. That came out really well. So in the film industry, there's the term for I can't remember. There's a term for when they do that, like you know when people smash objects over people's heads and stuff. They're like pre-cut to break, and that's essentially what you have to do. Like what I did for this is just you create pre-cuts, right? Um, there was like there's an industry term for it, I recall, um, which escapes me right now. So bench O2, you're getting the same treatment, buddy. Let's create an empty parent. Yeah, underscore bench O2. Unpack this guy. And then create an empty called bench exploded. Pop all these pieces in there. Give them a... I mean, they can have box colliders because they're pretty basic. And that will appease Mike. Rigid body. Set them to very low. They go far. And then did we put a collider on this guy? We did, didn't we? That can have a box collider because it's a very simple shape. And then just destructible object and destructible. And that should do it too. Rigid body. And yeah, I think bench, rigid body, bench 2, fracture object. Time to despawn. Seconds, desired magnitude. We're at about 10. That should be our exploding fella. Okay. Oh no. Because they all have to start visible. They all have to start visible. And then turn the, yeah, because I think the main object I turn on, but not the sub object, so that was probably why. It's gonna be so satisfying. It's just satisfying, right? Like, it just is. There's just something innately human about just like stuff breaking into smaller pieces when you hit it. I don't know what happened there with that crate, but Oh, that's really great. Um, awesome. Cool. I need to add sounds to those eventually, but I'm happy. So for now, I can just kind of place any object really. I do need to go in and update the offsets of those, I think. Set that to 0 and then bring these guys up. I will do opening it. There we go. Like its base is actually at the base now. Great. Uh, that's so good. So yeah, I can just kind of pull the benches out and smash the crap out of them. I think what I want is like a mini game mode where you get points for smashing stuff, and like you have 5 minutes or something, and it's multiplayer, and it's just a game of like smash as much as like possible, and things will respawn, and maybe there'll be like golden things that give more points for smashing them before they despawn or something. That would be a really fun party game to play, especially if it's like networked. Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I think that's like the thing I haven't really communicated yet to anybody online. I've spoken about this to a few friends and people that have, in my life that know I'm working on this. Is the kind of design of this game gives me a lot of flexibility of just kind of content. I have a oh, ton of ideas for uh, yeah, mini games and side games and stuff like that. So also really good if I get bored at any given point in time, I can just kind of tangent, spend a little bit of time making a mini game, and feel like I've done something new. Little game jam within my games, which I'm quite excited about. Okay, so smashing a whole bunch of benches all at once felt great. So we're gonna keep those in. They are done. I could just do that for hours, honestly. But I will not. All right, folks, you can vote. What do I do next? Let me know in the comments. I can work on some other pieces. I think I'm gonna make this break next. I do want to do the bus shelter because I think that's important. But do we put some effort into like making water jet out of the uh hydrant when that gets hit? That's something I really want to add a feature for. Do we do some visual effects work basically? Let me know because I do want to do that. Um, I'm going for like 2 hours. I may stream for I'll stream for like a little bit longer. But I want to take a break and enjoy the rest of my Monday holiday after this. I might do this again on Friday as well if people are into that. I think this is super chill. So, all right, well, why don't we do? We could do the road closed and do the shelter. I think the road closed one will be easier. Let's do that first, maybe. Okay, we'll do this first. So, I now need to break this up into its components. So, we need to duplicate. Wait, no, let's just duplicate the asset. Keep it in its place, hide the original, and then separate by loose. That should have given us a bunch of pieces. Pop those as children into the barrier. And then Now we can look at the individual components. So that's that, that's that, that's that. That's the piece. Yeah, and then the lights will come off too. Oh, yes, hooray. Oh, I love it when that works. I love when a plan comes together, gang. Okay. So now, using my cool little export tool, we can just hit batch export. So let's save the scale of that. Let's save the rotation of that. Let's save the scale and rotation. These guys seem fine. I don't think they have any, but no, they're all good. Okay, so we can select this and then batch export that. And then our road closed asset is there. Hooray. Reset on distance, so the reset once the player goes away. Yes, I will absolutely be doing that. That is in the list of things to do. Eventually. That's just something I can probably easily do in the destructible object code. I have that working for pedestrians. Like, if you knock them over, they'll get back up again eventually. Oh, this is kind of bigger than I thought it was going to be. Am I okay with that? Where's the car? Let's bring it up to the car. How does that look? Oh, it's coming in at minus 180. That's weird. Yeah, I think that's like that might be too big. How big is a sign like that normally compared to a vehicle? It's like probably a little bit smaller than the vehicle, isn't it? So I might want to scale it down a tiny bit. I think I'm going to scale it down a tiny bit. Okay. Maybe like 10%. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay. Okay, that's better. It's still kind of huge. Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, let's get the asset material working. So we want our master material. That'll get most of the colors in. And our outline material. I think they came in the wrong order. Yeah, they did. Oh, no. Nope, that worked. Okay. Oh, no, because that's the Unity order, but they are the... Yeah, they're the right order there. I think that they don't represent the same... Like, I hate that that order is different. I think it's alphabetical in the inspector. Okay, so then we get the road closed sign, which we can make a new material out of. So we need the stop sign material. And then grab that, duplicate that. Road closed white. And then find our road closed text. Is it in this scene already? I don't think it's in here. Oh, it might be. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. Ah, that's on the object, not the barrier. Okay. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. Ah, game is gonna look lovely. Yeah, it looks nice. I totally need to rework just some of these, the vehicle and Jessie's look. I'm not happy with how she looks anymore, but we'll do that later. It's not that important right now. So time to give it the same treatment. Create a new empty parent. Set it to 0, bring it up the level. Call this pf underscore road closed. Pf underscore barrier underscore road closed. And then back. Call this exploded. Pop these guys in there. Add a rigid body. And again, we can probably use box colliders here. Set this to destructibles. Yes. Box collider to this. Destructible object. Rigid body. That the object. Make that the exploded object. Set this to 10. Set this to 5. Set the rigid body there. And that should be good. Now we are cooking. Oh, yep. Got to turn the pieces off. Well, at least we know it works. There we go. Okay. No, I did it wrong again. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. I really gotta I gotta put some tools in place to stop me having to do some of this stuff, because it is kind of laborious. Like, I can probably make this figure it out. I can probably make this thing just check to find the word exploded and just select that automatically, and then just turn it off. Honestly, I could probably get it to add colliders as well in some kind of... I could build a tool to just build this setup really easily. I'm not going to do that today though, but I maybe by the next time I'm working on this, I will have that. The more of these I make, the quicker that's going to need to be. All right. Oh, yes, there it is. Screw you, road closed. Perfect. Okay. Who needs a warning like that when you have friends like these? Okay. Did the other bench break? Did I drive into the other bench? I guess I did. Huh. Okay. All right. That was easy. Kind of just doing this a bunch of more times. And then we'll get to put them in the game. Look at that. Oh, they look so good. That one doesn't look good. I'm gonna name this old. So nice to just have some assets. I spent so long on these. It's been a long time. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if we can lift my desk up and stand up. I don't know if this will work. I think nothing is tied down. I think all my camera set up and stuff is... Yeah, okay, we're good. We were able to stand up. Look at that. I might just have to push this back a little bit. And just adjust the camera. Like that. There we go. Okay. We like really zoomed in. Oh, we are. There you go. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think I don't know what's going on. My camera is mad at me. One second. Oh, it's just doing its thing. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I think it's still working, so we're good. Next up. Bus stop? Probably the bus stop, huh? Tires can be pretty easy to do. Okay. Just hmm. Get the signs working. No, let's do the bus stop. The bus stop is interesting. So let's do the same thing. Duplicate it, keep it in place. Take the old one. Separate by loose parts. Pop that inside the original. Hide the original. Okay, so that bit, that bit. So yeah, the key to a lot of this is just making sure that I designed it in a way that, you know, there are loose parts, so they can all just kind of fall to pieces. The roof coming off is going to be quite funny, I think. Like it almost feels like these pieces should be able to be chopped up too, though, doesn't it? Like I think. Hmm. I think the bench definitely needs to be able to be broken up into like 3 different pieces. Um. Okay. We'll do some extra work here to get this to well, work. Can I do a loop like that? Did that not loop round? Why are you not looping? Let's have an edge loop? Why is that not an edge loop? I literally just... Okay. It's just not. Hmm. Oh, I selected them like that. I see. Oh, it's gonna be tricky. All right. Let me just undo all of that. Okay, I can't undo all that. My undo history isn't high enough. Shit. Okay. Let's hide the under piece from. Oh, my edit. There we go. You know what? Let's do that. I don't know why it's not able to select that loop. That's strange. Okay. Because, like, it is a loop. Maybe it's just some setting I've got in this version of Blender. Usually I can just double click it and it selects the loop. I don't know why. Um, do I need to be in box select mode? Nope. Sweet. Nope. Interesting. Have you ever thought about ever hosting a game jam on this channel? Yeah, I've thought about it. Will I do it? Probably not. Until I get more time. Like, there's a lot of admin that will go into that. And I am pretty busy making 2 different video games. So, yeah, it'd be fun. But either I need some help from people. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's enough people on here doing game jams that, like, I don't need to add to that noise. All right. Why? Okay, why is double select? That is almost double clicking is not letting me select my verts, and I don't know why. Probably some shortcut. Ah, not using the emulate 3-button mouse feature. Aha! That would be... There we go. Ah, we got it. Oh my god, that was driving me insane. That would make sense. Okay, now we don't have to... There we go. Good. God, that was going to take me forever. Had no idea that was like a separate modifier function. Okay, cool. Right. Our bench is now split up. Can grab that. Oops. Did it. Okay. Honestly, we probably should do this in sculpt mode. Or just grab the pieces and like... There we go. Oh, I love the sculpting tool. Makes breaking things really easy. Okay, object. Got a hide mode. Cool. I probably should do the same thing with the roof. Oh, now we need to separate by loose parts. Now 3 different pieces. That's the under piece. I'm fine with that just staying as one piece, I think. This can be one piece. I think I want this to be broken up though. But I'm not sure how. Maybe only 1 or 2 of them. I think it's probably cooler if... Does that not go across the glass? It's just that edge. Oh, wait, is the glass an individual piece? Ah, maybe that would be how we do it. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's how we should do it. Okay. If I recall, this is just one... Yeah, okay. So, separate selection. Let's go in here and go separate selection. Go in here and go separate selection. Okay, now the glass is all its own little panels. It'd be really sick if these can just like split into like a million different parts, right? So if we then go subdivide. I can't see what the heck is going on here because of the material. Did that even work? I don't think that worked. That did not work. Jigarina, thank you so much for the kind comment. I appreciate that a lot. I mean, hopefully we're making this video game and people will be able to enjoy it. That would be pretty sweet. Can we do a subdivision surface? Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh. It doesn't like this. Whatsoever. Why is that? Let me just turn off the ah. Ah. Honestly? That would be pretty. That's so many little pieces though. That's so many little pieces. But alright, we'll do simple. For now. Oh, does it already have a ton of verts? Oh, it does. That's why it's not working. I see. Oh shoot, okay. Oh. Okay, it's just friggin' balked. That's probably my bad. Hmm. I mean, can I just triangulate the faces here? Oh. Well, honestly, I'm not against that. Just breaking into, like, different... Yeah, alright. Let's do that. That's kind of funky. That can be how it breaks. There we go. Actually, that's created a bunch of different patterns. I don't have a good way to... I have to select everything individually. I'm gonna have to separate selection. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do it one at a time, baby. I don't know how smart this is gonna be, but it'll look cool. I mean, it'd be really cool if it did the glass first. I'm not gonna do those tiny pieces in the corner there. That can just be one piece. I'm fine with that. Yeah, those can just be... It's just so many pieces. Gosh. Oh, it's gonna be so sad. It's gonna look cool though. I'm hoping it'll look cool. Oh, there's a fracture tool. I didn't know there was a fracture tool. I'll look into that later. This is fine for now. I've done this, but I will. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know about that. I'm gonna I'm a bit more selective about how I'm separating these, and do some larger ones for this. I mean, I think if this is combined with just a really sick like glass smashing sound effect, then I think we're good. It's a lot of pieces though. Okay. All right. Think. Do we do the roof? Nah, the roof can just be one piece. The roof can just be one piece. That's fine. Okay. So hide all the pieces. Great. now we export that. We should have a bus stop. Bunch of pieces in it. So we need a master. Some glass, not the window. I think that one. Yeah, there we go. And outline. Boop. Perfect. Into place. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring it over to our other benches. Just see how it stacks up. I'm quite excited about this one, especially because it's transparent, like the glass breaking and stuff. Okay, yeah, this is about the right size. I'm pretty happy with that size. I think that looks good. A little guy there. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. It could maybe be a little bit smaller. The bench is quite high. Maybe we make it a tiny bit. Okay, let's make it a tiny bit smaller. Let's do 9. Export that. There we go. That's better. Okie doke. Oh, it didn't bring in the other pieces. Ah. Okay. That again. Now it did. So we create an empty parent. Call this the bus shelter. EF underscore bus shelter. Bring that to the bottom. Bring this to the top. Seven. Okay. Perfect. Unpack this guy. Create another empty. All right. Put this on the destructibles layer. Give these guys rigid bodies. Back. Set their mass to freaking nothing. And a collider on this guy. This can just be a box collider. And add the destructible object. Rigid body. And magnitude. Pop the rigid body in there. Pop the collider in there. Default object in there. And then the fracture object. Okay. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll find out. That didn't work. Oh. Because the despawn time was set to 0. Let's set that one to 10. Just give us some time to watch the debris fall around. And it looks like Unity is struggling right now. Why? Why? All right. That's screwed. For some reason. Good job, Unity. It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy how common you just have to like it just gets stuck. Like doesn't matter what version you're on, just just get stuck. It's just like, I'm just gonna not do anything. Just sit there. I mean, it's possible that the it's possible there's so many like little pieces that it doesn't like that, but that would be strange. Okay. Try it now. I just find myself having to open and close it. I think anybody who's using Unity in any capacity finds themselves in that position. Oh, that looks so good! That was awesome! That worked so well. Oh man, yeah, the glass like splitting into fractures like that. We did it. That that was satisfactory. That's great. Look at it. Look at it just shatter into pieces. So that's so good. That's so good. Ah, screw it. That's just the game. The game is just smashing stuff. Like, I don't know why I'm making anything better. I'm just gonna make a million assets that smash into pieces and sell them on the asset store. Why do I bother making a video game? This is way more fun. Look at that go. That's so good. I should check that that stuff all works with my replay, but yeah, that's great. I'm really happy with that. That turned out well. All of that work, we got there in the end. Lovely. All right, let's do a couple more. Let's save that as an actual. It's gonna have like a really nice glass shattering sound too. I think that's gonna be really satisfactory. I'm quite excited about that. All right. Prefabs. Prop. Yeah, bus shelter. Okay. I'll save. So good. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a drink. I'll be back in a second. Okay. Just making a coffee. But what's next? I guess we may as well just set that sign up so it matches. Let's scale that down a little bit too. Okay. Outline. We need to make a bus material. Sign. Stop sign. That's the. Yeah, we already have that. Deal with that in a minute. Bus sign. Bus sign. Like that one. Oh. What's happened there? By the rotation. Re-export it. There we go. Okay. Then grab the bus sign material and give it the bus image. And that's nice and easy. We get. I'm going to apply the same physics. Let me just grab my coffee. Okay. Bus, 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 bus. Let's go. How does the post work? Just a couple of colliders. Rigid body. Physics prop object. Okay, yeah, because it's not destructible, so. Okay, so physics prop object. I just need a rigid body. We'll get a box collider. Line up to the oops. This there. Yeah. I'll make another one. There we go. He's a rigid body. Is this also on the destructibles layer? Let's copy the rigid body properties. Paste them. Destructibles. The object fully, right? Yeah. Okay. That should also just do its thing then. Oh no, I didn't set the rigid body. Shoot. Well, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Oh no, it's just gonna keep falling over. That's less bad. It's so weird that being its center of mass. I think it should need to be about 2. Mm, nope. Nope. Okay. Where do we want the center of mass to be? Oh, 2's like up there. Probably want like 0.5. Let me just try automatic, and maybe automatic will work. Last time I tried that on the other thing, it didn't really work. What's it like on the sine? Yeah, that's about 2.5. Mass about 30 for that. Okay, so maybe this needs to be about 30. Oh no, it's going again. Okay. I mean, probably gonna take some fiddling to get right. Oh, I think I was need to set it to kinematic. I think just it starts on kinematic, right? No, not. That's strange. That's just able to stand. Hmm. It's gonna take some finesse, I think. It's possible it was floating too high. I might have to line the box collision up a little bit better. That might be part of the problem. Oh, there it goes. I mean, once it's like smushed. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's like in the right place. I think it's just not able to stand on its own very easily. Maybe I just need to work on the colliding boxes. Oh. That might also be it. It looks like it doesn't have one. What? There we go. That's why. It actually wasn't on a box. Okay. That would explain it being weird. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Okay. Pretty good. Well, I think it's probably a good place to leave it for today. Pretty happy with how that's turned out. This friggin' bus shelter is great. I'm really, really happy with that. That's so good. Like, the glass and the frame separating from each other. Such a nice little effect. I think I need to make the boxes, like the collision meshes, I might need to turn, like, thicken those up or something. But yeah, and then you hit the bus post and that goes down, and it's pretty great. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there for now. I will. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed just kind of hanging out and watching this. I am more than happy to do this sort of thing way more frequently. Like, it's super easy for me to just do some dev work and hang out with you guys. So yeah, if you'd like to see more of this, let me know. And I hope you've enjoyed this little stream. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I will see you again next time. Bye. Bye.